encourage residential and business growth within our community?
Boy, that's a tough one, guys. You know, having business out, it's just makes all my life. I've had many people over the years approach me asking to invest in a business at Sister Lakes. They like the area, but it's a tough place to make a living, guys. The population's small, the resort area is gone, it's not like it used to be. It's tough to survive on a part-time business, the summer businesses. The question I asked last week, and if we can get some answers today, it'd be nice, which businesses do the people in the township think we need? And if we would know what they wanted, maybe we could approach some people on that. In fact, I had a fellow here a few years ago, he said he would buy the property, build a building, put the inventory in, and give me the business to run and make the profits for 5 years. You think I wasn't trying to think of a business to put in there, buddy? We couldn't come up with one that made sense. So if you people would like to give me some suggestions on what businesses you're looking for, we could pursue it. Thank you.
I don't know. Possibly grants. That is a tough one because everybody's struggling. That's my answer.
Well, we had this question last week, and it is it's a tough one to answer. But as a board, what we have to do is try to make the ability for a business to come into the community as easily as possible by having the correct zoning. Allow for commercial to be in an area where traffic ingress and egress can be done safely. And if the pursuit of tax subsidies or tax rebates are needed, I think the board just recently passed a tax subsidy to allow business to expand. That's what we have to do and continue to do.
We did talk about that last week, and as I thought about that through the week, I look out and what does our community have to offer? What do we have here? We've got agriculture, we've got farming, we've got a resort area, we've got the inland lakes. I think what we need to do is look at that. First and foremost is go to our businesses and ask them, what can we do to encourage you and to help your business grow? And then look at our community. We don't have to reach out and say, what can we bring in? We've got stuff right here. It's a matter of how can we promote it now. The resorts have closed down, and that's an issue, but there's people who are renting their homes who are doing very, very well at it. So we do have resources here. I think there's funding coming down from the state, or they're talking about funding to help our farmers and grants and stuff like that, and let's encourage more production. I'd love to see in the summer on one of the corners right in Sister Lakes a farmer's market. Let's have that on a weekend. We've got plenty of people around here. That would help our agriculture, our farmland, do their business instead of having all these different stands, which we can still have a Saturday morning where the whole community comes together. If somebody has special crafts or something, let's do that. Let's bring us together. And as we bring us together, then people will start wanting to come into the community. So I think there's a lot of things that we have to offer that we just need some ingenuity and some good thought and encourage entrepreneurship in our area. So how we're going to do that, I don't know, but I would love to see that and just build community revenue and bring people in.
I don't think it's that hard of a question. In an area like this, you're going to make it more lucrative to have people want to start a business here. There's not enough zoning right now, commercial or light industry or anything like that. Love all my farm guys out here that are raising all the stuff close by and everything. But until we start opening up some property to light industry, service, commercial, a little bit more property for these types of things, they're not going to come in. Right now, my biggest fear is holding on to the businesses that we have because they're closing up one night after another pretty soon. I've even heard that the minor store down here is suffering so bad that they may go. So, when you lose your grocery store, your gas station, things like that out here, what do people have? Why would they want to be in the area? The lakes are the only thing holding the people down in the lakes, that's for sure. So, it's not a tough question. You've got to open it up for business somehow.
Yeah, we did discuss this briefly at the last meeting regarding encouraging business development. And, you know, when we talk to the business owners, the people that do have investments here, the people that are willing to make an investment here, it was the same message. The previous board would not listen. They just failed to compromise with the business owners. The business owners are unsure how the board is going to respond to the request to make their business bigger, open another business, ask for a variance, some other kind of parking. So these are the kind of things that we need to make certain for our board that they know what's going to happen. So our business people, they need to know how the board's going to respond to the request, yay or nay. So we can move forward and get the business going, and we can bring the money into our community. Thank you.
As I recall, it was a two-pronged question. The first was, how do we encourage residential growth? Well, until and unless the financial world gets its act in order, there isn't going to be a whole lot of residential growth out here. The predominant area for residential growth is around the lakes, and those lots are fast disappearing. People that are buying up houses, tearing them down, tearing two houses down and building one, which is a good thing, perhaps. With regard to business, and I'm told that the previous board was insensitive to the people. We had a survey that was run, and the survey that was run with regard to our master plan for this community indicated that everybody wanted it to remain just the way it is. They did not want business in this area. They did not want industrial development in this area. There is very little to support industrial development in this area or business development in this area. I hear people talk about all the farm market must be around the corner. Well, there's some folks out here that do market farm products. And if everybody has peaches on every corner down here, nobody's going to make anything marketing peaches. There are businesses out here that provide that type of product already. We need to make sure that people patronize those businesses. And certainly we need to listen to the business climate, listen to the business community, because business growth is not generated by the township board going out and luring some business or some entity in here. Most business expansion is developed on the basis of existing businesses and somebody seeing an opportunity to put in some other business that's ancillary to the existing business. We can have 10 restaurants out here and none of them will survive. So it isn't a question of how many restaurants we have. We already have a handful of restaurants. For 8 months out of the year, 8 months out of the year, most of these businesses are pretty sparsely patronized. You go up there to the right place in the morning here in November, December, January, February, March, and you might see 6 or 8 people in there for breakfast in the morning. There'll be 20 of them over at Montgomery's. Another 10 of them down here at the old Sunrise. But it isn't the fact that we don't have enough restaurants in the community. We don't have the population to support the existing businesses that we have here. So that's what we need to be mindful of.
Well, there's not much more that I can say after all the people down this, except for I'd like to sit down with the Corridor Improvement Authority and the Sister Lakes Business. Sit down with the new board and can maybe come up with a new master plan to see what we can do. As for residential, Don hit it right on the head. Around my lake, which is one of the quietest lakes in the area, over in Keeler, there's 4 or 5 places that have been up for sale for 2-3 years. I think until the economy comes back, residential will just take care of itself.